Howdy, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday Night Live. Hope you all are doing well. It is a little overcast here on the East Coast. Got some clouds here. Thank you guys for coming in. If I say guys, that means guys and gals. That way I don't have to go back and forth. But I appreciate you dropping by. I'm just going to do a little 223 stuff. Hang on, I think Hasbro's already texting me. 1 second. Okay, he'll be in there. You got to get a Starlink up. But I appreciate you guys dropping by. I just went ahead and did this a little early. That way you can get in here too, Andy, finally. Good to see you, Andy, 79Z28. Down the road, me and you and a few others will do a panel. I want to try to get a panel occasionally, and get it going. We're going to go over 223 topics. I won't really get... I might go into headspace because I talked about it on the backside the other night again. But I actually have some NATO rounds, ball M193 here. And I actually have some commercial 223 I bought years ago. I think it was like $40 for 50 rounds of 223 S point soft point, which is what the FBI uses. According to what I seen in the store, it had this thing one day. It was federal, and it says 55 grain soft point. FBI supposedly uses it. I said, oh, okay. And that's actually was sold to by Clyde Armory in Athens, Georgia. He's also a congressman in the House of Representatives. But I got the commercial here, and I actually checked Headspace earlier, and even though commercial is a shorter headspace, it comes out about the same when you're reloading. It's only would matter if you tried to put, say, NATO in a 223 chamber from years ago, marked 223 only chamber, that is, which we've discussed this over and over, in the live streams before. I got this crappy camera. I'll show you how I'm going to try to switch cameras. Occasionally my software will lose this camera. Hey, Chris, hang on a minute. I'm going to call you guys out. I can change this. Now, when I change cameras, I got to go down and do this. And then say I'm in the dark, then I got to change the lights. I have got to get that camera, at least the cheapest one that Max got, which is that Sony ZV-1. I think it's ZV-1. So anyway, let me go up the top here and call you guys out for a minute. Say hello to you. Yeah, G23 was good to see you, G. Tactical FUD, good to see you, Tactical. Jason Stewart jumped in. Long time no see, Jason. Appreciate you dropping by, brother. Vanessa Kitty is with us. Who else? Gary Gizzard. I always want to say Gary Gizzard. I don't know why. I guess because your first name. But got Gizzard Gary with us. How you doing? Good. Hope you're doing well. Bobby Barlow joined us. Good to see you, man. Ocean jumped in there. Good to see you, Ocean. It's been a while. Who else is in here? Hasbro jumped in. I just text him. Good to see you, Hasbro. I may bring a one or two on to my camera. For the reloading equipment, I'm using a Canon, which you think for $350 it'd be worth the crap, but it's not. The sensor in it's not worth the crap, and it's a Canon on top of it. So the lights don't play well with it at all. Who else here? Jason, Hasbro, Tactical FUD. I know Andy79Z28's joined us. Good to see you. Michael Hurtnick. Hey, Michael. Christmas 740. How you doing, Chris? Hope you were doing well. Who else? I may move this screen over to the Hobbies. Hobo has joined us. Good to see you, Hobo. Yeah. Georgia Trapping on here. Oh, one guy. Good to see some of the regulars here. Good to see you, Georgia Trapping. He's here in South Georgia. Yeah. Ever get my dang car out of the shop, I'll probably ride down there and visit with him a spell. But the guy that was, I'll get on that. I know I can change the subject on a dime. Someone once told me. But my car was in the shop. You guys know that. Well, the guy thought he was going to figure it out. He's worked on cars for years, got his thing. He can't figure out what the knock is. I think it's in the valve train, personally. Probably still a sticky lifter. And I told him the other day, I said, well, one thing we know, it had rust in the block. It's 30 years old. let's just go ahead then. If you can't find out, he thought he could fix it cheap. I said it wouldn't hurt if it had head gaskets and new valve springs, at 30 years old anyway. So I said, let's just go ahead and pull it like we originally agreed to and send it to machine shop. So that's the last on that deal. It's going just like I thought it would. Pull the engine, and I'll probably do a long block. I may even bring in some forged rods, brand new, and definitely new pistons. That way I eliminate wrist pin problems, everything in that block. And this guy, even though he works on cars, can't figure it out. It's a weird sound, and you can't really identify it. It almost sounds like a flex plate crack, but yet it's not. It could be anything. It could be an oil pump up, something broke off. I mean, we don't even know. It could be a bolt broke somewhere. And it don't, when it first runs, it runs, good. All of a sudden, as soon as it starts getting heat to the engine, you start hearing that little high-pitched tap on it. Let's see who else is here. 351 Cleveland joined us. Good to see you, 351. Info Bros joined us. I'm still not finished scrolling. I started talking about cars. We'll talk about a little bit of everything on my channel. You know how it goes, guys. You all know me this pretty well by now. Gun Websites joined us. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming in, man. I'm still dropping by G Websites occasionally, listening to them for a while. He does the 2A stuff. Check him out, guys. You all connect. We've got a few mods in here. We got Holistic Heritage Homestead. Appreciate you coming in, man. Matter of fact, I forgot. It's been so long, I forgot I could highlight. I disconnected with your channel. Found your channel by. Oh yeah, barbecue. Yeah, I'm gonna get him on my show. I mentioned that to him when he first. I think he come on side chat here months ago, and he's a nice guy. I like him. I also bought me a pellet smoker. I ain't got it yet. I go pick it up tomorrow. Bought me a pellet smoker, 1,000 square feet square inches. Excuse me, 1,000 square feet. That'd be kind of stupid. Square inches of it's one of the Big Boss. Yeah, one of those Walmart jobs. It's not expensive, but hey, I'll take care of it. Dump the ash. At least I can cook some good veggies and some good meats and stuff. And heck, I'll do some streams. Get out on the patio. I'm going to get a fire pit, and we'll do some outdoor streaming some nights and sitting there cooking, and maybe some drinks, Coke, whatever you prefer, or tequila, who knows. But no, I hadn't had tequila in a long time, guys. But appreciate you dropping in, Holistic Heritage. He's a new sub. I appreciate you subbing to me. Check him out, guys. Guys, we have so much in common in this community with as reloaders. Most of us as reloaders are preppers. Most of us are homesteaders. Most people that reload, not everybody, granted, you can rent and reload, but most people, build their rooms, in their home. But we hoard ammo, and make it. And they hoard, do food and all that, which I do all of it. I think I got 100 pounds of flour, or I can't remember now, on the kitchen table. I've actually got to put it in some Mylar bags here and get ordered. Right during COVID, Mylar bags were outrageous on Amazon. I think they're coming down a little bit now. Got MSB 9021. Good to see you. Let me start scrolling again. Yeah, so check these channels out. Gabriel is with us. Good crowd here. Appreciate you guys even taking the time to even come in here, man. So I don't have the best lighting, I got a better, sound's not too bad, but everything else, I hate it. That thing up there, you can't control. That old Logitech, this here camera here is, the sensor in it's just not that good. It surprised me because I thought it would work good. I've actually got it hooked up to a Elgato 4K USB thing, capture card. Yeah, that's it. Just trying to remember what it was. Let's see, Tactical Foot, Gabriel. Still scrolling, guys. Just taking my time. Appreciate you coming here, old one guy. Georgia Trappings with us, 3. Who else here? And good to see you, Jason. It's been a long time. I've had him on the panel a time or two. I'm trying my best, guys, to get Echo. He's apparently fishing all the time. Going to do a fishing channel, I think, started last I heard. I've texted him lately, and I haven't heard a word from him. But I know he's camping because you all probably checked his channel out. I did a comment, and I don't think he even knows I did a comment. I haven't seen a heart from it, I don't think. But anyway, I almost got him on here a few weeks ago. So I'll eventually nail him and get him on here and all that, and we'll stream sometime. Y'all be able to see him. But appreciate you guys coming here. I've got about each and every one of you there. I'm going to move the screen over to my TV, and I'm going to fire this other camera, change it in the software. ARC Designs. He does a lot of video on gun control bills and you name it. He sits there and does commentary on it. Good stuff. I do go into politics. You guys know this a little bit. Occasionally I dip into it, and I can pull myself out kind of quick because I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, I am Betty J. Gathers joined us. Hey, Betty, thank you for coming in. Yeah, Betty, I think she's got that Sony ZV-1. She wants another one, I think, the last I heard from her on her stream when she was talking about it. I'm thinking about getting one just to get by right now. I kind of want the Canon D90. But Lord, that thing is $1,200 plus the lens. The lens I need is about $700. So you're talking a lot of money. And get the Sony at least for now and get going. Yeah, appreciate you being here, Betty. You guys that's got wives, check these ladies out that come in here, because occasionally you will see ladies drop by. And check their channel out. Share, connect. And heck, I'm a guy and I watch her channel. She does vlogging and stuff. Anyway, let me switch this around here. I'm going to take the camera off of me. Makes me look like, even the lighting so bad makes me look like I got a red nose. I don't have a red nose. Not really. But it just looks that way. I'm going to take care of that. I got to buy that camera. And it's like, I think, $1,100 with tax total. And that's with a shotgun mic. I can get it. And the remote control that MacMan's got. I want that remote where I can just sit here and just zoom in while I'm sitting here doing something. I don't have to worry with the camera. Yeah, see, Betty says, let me highlight what she says. She's talking about that. Sony ZV-1, yeah, got you, Betty. Yeah, I've heard of the 10. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be a better idea, probably, that 10. I know they do have a Gen 2 now of the Sony ZV-1. It's got I think the ZV-1's got 24 aperture, not aperture, but perspective. That's not the right word, but you know what I'm meaning. And the new one's got 18, so it's a little bit wider view. I forget the word for it. I don't have Echo here or somebody to remind me of when I go into these, what you call brain FART things. So anyway, but yeah, I'll check that. Like I say, they do have a Gen 2, and I'll look at that 10 a little closer. I want the D90, but it's just a chunk of money. Holistic Heritage says, by the way, I meant connect. Oh, yeah, I seen that. I just didn't say anything. I figured it was a typo. Even though I don't do it much often these days, I've been streaming, what was it, guys, a year and a half, 2 years? And a lot of my streams I did, kind of went in the dumpster, and a lot of them I just disconnected, especially if we went to politics or something. I didn't leave it up. I took it out. And because I don't particularly, I'll cover it a little bit if it's regarding something I've heard that affects us, and then I try to let it go on it. But typically, no politics. Yeah, get one and change the lens, she says. Yeah, MacMan is using. He's one of our gun community guys, Betty. He uses ZV-1, and it's the lights in there. He can zoom in. Got a remote for it, and it does pretty good. It's surprising It's got a good sensor. Sony is really known, even their top-end cameras are really known to be good streaming cams. We got hunting and stuff with J&J. Hey, man, appreciate you being here. I'm going to also change this. I'm not going to change it out. I'm going to get a shotgun mic here. And if I get the Sony, I may just use it like Mac, just use the internal cam. But I still plan on eventually getting a little shotgun mic and maybe another arm, or probably just mount it up here on the cabinet, aiming at me right here. Yeah, and I can get a small mini Rode, and that's not a big deal. And I can switch it, take this out, because this is basically talking head mic. It's not a good mic to sit here and, get way back and start doing tutorials with. So, but appreciate each and every one of you guys being here, and gals. Oh, Tasha. Hey, Tasha, how you doing? Check her out, guys. She's Art Adventures with Tasha. I don't know what you. Sometimes she used to stream at 9 on 7 days a week. Put down what you stream. Let me see, Tasha. Are you a mod, Tasha? I don't remember. Right now, I'm not on the other side, but I'll go back and do this, and I'll make you one. You can drop your link if you like. She does a thing at the truck stop at night. Used to be 9 p.m. and sits there and talks. I've been there a few times and had a very interesting conversation one night on reloading, which I won't. Tasha remembers that. I know, on reloading, and it kind of blew my mind that night. Actually, the things I heard, but people pick up stuff I think on media, social platforms, and it didn't make sense to me. And I kept telling the person, no. But we're going to touch on some of this stuff here if I can see. Let me switch cameras. We're going to get over here to the other camera. I'm going to change the lights and move all this. Bear with me, guys. When I say guys, I mean ladies too. So move that. We're going to, let me get over here. We're going to go, right now I can at least change the two cameras, but here's the best I got. And even then I got to do a lot of lights on it. See there, I mean, it looks okay, but it's not, it's not bright. You can tell by the sensor, it's not like it should be. And I got lights overhead, another light aimed down right here, but it is what it is. But I've been researching more on 223 chamber gauges, go and no-go gauges lately. Because I said something here in the stream, it was Hillbilly Up stream. We discussed one night 223-556. And I said something about, hey, you got a commercial chamber, and then you got a wild chamber, then you got a NATO, which is true. But I've been researching the gauges, and I got them ordered. And I'll tell you some specs. It probably won't mean much. Some of you will know what I'm doing here. Some of you won't. On a go gauge for commercial brass, the number is 1.4636. That's the go gauge. Now, what's interesting, what I seen here the other day, that's how weird companies can be, because they don't get it right. Believe it or not, they don't get it right either for some weird reason. But their no-go gauge, and I don't think I'm wrong because I remember reading this article, says that the no-go gauge was 1.4646. Well, that's ridiculous. That's true if it was a commercial chamber. That is absolutely a fact. But the Colt 1.4646 is a go gauge in a NATO chamber. And then you got your, basically your field after that is all you need. You just need the Colt spec gauge. And then you got your field. If the bore is too bigger than the field, you got a chamber's too big, and you just trash your barrel at that point. But that's interesting, all the headspace things in 223. I've actually got some commercial. Commercial chambers actually smaller and tighter. I think I dropped something. Pardon the noise. I'm half blind, so you guys, gals, bear with me. I load. You guys know I reload 55 grain SP spear point, soft point with cantilever. I think I've told you I will discuss this part. The correct overall length, if we're reloading, this is what's kind of strange now. I've talked to Bubba a little bit about these things recently. The COL on it's 2.200, 200, 1.200. The problem with that book is Hornady's own bullets. As reloaders, I've got the bullet right here. And I know you're not going to be able to see it that much because the way my cameras just don't focus or anything, but that's it right there. It's very tiny. And I don't like this mic because I go away, I fade out. And when I go back and watch the video, it sounds crappy. But anyway, if you do it to that length, you're going to have probably 3/4 of your cantilever being exposed. You guys in reloading know exactly what I'm talking about. Hang on, let me get this thing out of my face. There we go. You guys know what I'm talking about, the reloaders do. Hey, Barbecue Rockstar. At least I got the TV in front. Big Al is with us. Appreciate you dropping in, Barbecue. I don't usually go this early. I did. I used to run at 8:05 all the time, and kind of got a conflict, and I went to 9, and I actually like 830 a little bit better. And I've been doing 9. Oh, good. Yeah, you're a mod. I was thinking I've made you one. All right, here's the issue. When we do this round and we load it, we typically want to do about 80 to 90% of the cantilever exposed. At least I do. And I'll tell you what that comes to. So that's not going to be nowhere near that. It's going to be shorter than that 2.200. Of course, you're going to work the load up. You're not going to go by the book, the hottest charge anyway. But I've got some commercial, same soft point, same brand, Hornady, 223, no NATO stuff right here, which you guys see this. And I'm going to tell you the length on it from the factory now. That's why these books are a good guide, but to a new reloader, and you start looking at these books, it kind of, at times I hate to say it, we do overlook it. Now, do I recommend that? No, not for a new reloader, because you'll get yourself in trouble. Where somebody's been doing it a while, we won't. We kind of understand it. But let me measure this round here. It's a factory round, Hornady SP223 Remington, no NATO. I'm going to tell you the length of it. The length, instead of 2.200, which I got the same bullet right here, quite a bit of them actually, and I may show you all in a minute. It's 2.176 from Hornady's own manufacturing plant. Right there. So see, that's a guide. That's why I say the books come more of a guide. Because even if I load it 2.200, I've got most of my cantilever. And now, how do I know that? I got it right here behind me. Matter of fact, I did load some like that a long time ago. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can turn around and find it. Well, all that's okay. I did 90% on that. I was thinking, I know I got some somewhere. I just don't know where it is. But typically, when I'll use that as a guideline, and I'll work up a charge. It's called working up a charge. It'll be a minimum load of gunpowder, and it'll be a maximum load of powder. But even Hornady here, you can barely see their cantilever. That's the way I like to do it. So technically, I can't do a max charge on here, even though, I can, because this book is conservative anyway. I could actually make the charge a little hotter, but I don't recommend that for new reloaders. But it's interesting, isn't it? Every one of these bullets here, and I'll measure another one. And this is not NATO. This is commercial. $40 for 50 rounds. And I'll read it to you. It's part number 80255, 223 Remington 55 grain SP, $40 friggin' I bought it back in 2010 or 12. So this in here measures 2.177 right here. So you have to basically, when you see this in the book, and say if you are a new reloader, and you say, well, I don't want my cantilever. That looks odd. Well, see, we know as reloaders, we know we don't have to go exactly by that number. We can go a little deeper. And to prove it, I just, measured the commercial for you. This is essentially here, the same exact round that's in this friggin' recipe book right here, which is this is the Hornady 10th edition. I would buy the 11th, but it's $50. I did see the fourth edition Sierra the other day. I think it was Academy Sporting Goods for $35. I almost bought that one. And but amazing how books have went up. But I've told Bubba some of these things me and him's text, and we've been on the phone a little bit about it. He's getting into reloading 38. Matter of fact, where is Bubba at? Oh, he works. That's right. He's busy. He works nights. But so okay. Anyway, to get to what I was going to do, we're going to load a dummy round. I have some brass here. And I can cheat because I have a Redding headspace gauge right here. So I can actually put it in here and look, which you all probably see it up there. I'm actually 5, 6, 7, 8 thousandths of an inch over Sammy Min. So that's about right for an AR-15. And probably for an M16. But we won't go into that topic. Oh, there's Bubba. Okay, I didn't know, man. I know you work, so I wasn't sure. But you remember what I was telling you, Bubba, how that your bullet, if you start, I discovered it was a 357 round. Well, it's the same way with this, and I'm not trying to teach new beginners on here to ignore the book. I'm just saying there's flexibility when you reload. It's not just High Boy said this here several years ago, and you all know High Boy. He's been reloading them most of his life. And so is Walter, Viejo. High Boy one time said that reloading is not concrete. But now, when we're teaching you, though, we will tell you to go by the book. Now if you call me and you go by the book and you don't like that candle lure, I'll ask you what your powder charge is. Let's lower your powder charge and we'll go deep. Why we can go deeper? Because the deeper we go, the more pressures end up spiking. But we'll say, okay, well, let's just knock that bullet out and we'll resize the brass and reload it and put about 90% of the into the candle lure. In other words, 90% of the candle lure will show. Not 90, 10%. Excuse me, guys. Losing my mind here. Trying to think of everything here at once. But like right here with this Hornady, I can barely. I don't do it quite this short. Mine, I can actually see the candle lure a little bit. But this factory, nope. It's very hard to see it at all. So they even went deeper, than what I do on a commercial. And another thing I noticed, like I say, in these streams, I hear a lot of, some newbies come in here occasionally, and that's what we want too in this community. And they'll start talking about, if I reload, how do I reload NATO versus commercial? Don't worry about that. Or, like, do I separate brass 223 from 556? Do I buy brass sometime 223 without a crimp and say bulk? Yes, I have bought 500 once fired brass from say Brassman. And it's segregated, and I'll sign a lot number to it. Like I think Viejo does lot numbers. You can do just like a manufacturing plant with your all your reloads. You can sign lot numbers to it. That way you can go back and keep the lot numbers together, and you can make up whatever you want for your lot number. I told Bubba, when he gets to reloading, to make sure his quality control is good. Think of it as a little mini manufacturing plant, because you are manufacturing something. And as you're doing it, if you just do it sloppy, get distracted, walk away, come back, you can have all kinds of issues and problems. So try to finish at least one round completely before you walk away from the bench if you're new to this, so you don't mess up. You typically don't mess up too bad with rifle cartridges, because why? If you did a double charge on a rifle cartridge, the powder would be overflowing. But on pistol, that's another story. Pistol, you could easily do a double charge and blow your gun up. So. But anyway, let me look at the side chat here a minute. Dale Pogue has joined us. Let's see. Let me highlight a few of you guys. Talk to you a little bit. Art, I thought you were having a day like I did a while back. Went to post the link. Had a stroke. Oh, you had a stroke, CNT? Oh, I hope you're doing well. I got a cousin in South Carolina. He had a stroke here a few years back, and he got over it. He was lucky. Let me go up here and see what Andy's got going on here. And what I'm going to do here is not going to take long, so mostly I'm going to spend it trying to talk, talking with you guys. And I'll get back to this. I'll put a little bit of a tutorial in it, mixed in with just, interacting with you guys. CNT says, so he had a stroke. Bubba, I will be contacting you at ABD. You prize you won and to chat with you to see what bullets you may want. Oh, okay. Yeah, I won something, guys, from Hillbillies. I did a kind of an unboxing. It was already unboxed, but shout out to them. I won a kind of like a knife that the police carry, and a lot of the guys that the military guys, even on YouTube, carry. It's got that hook bill like, and I carry it some now. I won that one night. It's weird. I haven't won nothing in a long time. I win 2 times in one show, and that's Hillbilly Up show on Saturday night. I was shocked. So I got his knife, which is the glass breaker, flashlight, fire striker. And then I won Bubba's, what I consider really a fighting knife and design. And boy, is it, the way you can hold it, it's deadly. CNT, no art. Hang on, let me highlight you guys. Just don't make any lots. Ammo, yeah. Yeah, talking about lot numbers here. Good to see you, Raleigh. Appreciate you dropping in. Hey, Hobo. Got somebody else here. Viejo's joined us. Good to see you, Viejo. You've probably been listening, Walter. I was going over this, how new reloaders look at this book. We advise to go by the book, but then sometimes, you got to vary a little bit, especially unless you just want your candle lure stuck way out. I know a few years ago, I think I was watching Johnny's Reloading Bench or somebody. I can't remember now. And they was reloading, and their cantilever was stuck way out, according to the spec that they were going by. So, we know as reloaders to lower our powder charge the deeper we seat the bullet. So anyway, hey, Brutal Bob, good to see you, man. He just had a few surgeries. Matter of fact, my appointment for my surgeon, switch the subject here real quick, was I had to cancel it and make it the end of the month. I'm going to a real neurosurgeon for my neck. And I visit and see what they say, Bob. Me and Bob knows what I'm talking about. And some of y'all do. So instead of orthopedic, I'm going to try the neurosurgeon just to see what they say. I already know what they got to do. Mostly, I want to see what the technology is, how advanced they are here compared to the orthopedic. But anyway, enough of that. Just sent you an email. I need a few. Hey, any of you guys, most of you guys, I've got your email address. I'm trying to think who I don't have. I got CNT, Brutal Bob. Uncle Caffeine joined us. Good to see you. Let me highlight you there. Appreciate you coming in here. Michael Hurtnick is with us. We're doing a little 223 on a Forster coax press. I wish I had the knob, guys, for it, so this long friggin' arm, which I've been too cheap to get it the past few years. I've had this thing now probably for 5 years now. Let me see, Jason Stewart, evening. But good to see you, Walter. Anyway, I'm just kind of talking about what people do when they start reloading. I did the commercial. I mentioned this one time before. Walter was in the stream that I measured the original, Hornady ammo, not NATO now, commercial. The book, granted, like I said, the reloading manual says do it at 2.200, which then your cantilever will show too much. This ammo here, commercial, off of Hornady's ammo production line, reads on an average 2.177, almost 25 thousandths deeper. If it was 75, it would be. So anyway, it goes to show you got a little bit of flexibility. And granted, they know what they use a specialized powder. But you hear the word, load workup in our community. That's, you start out low or medium. I tend to start out medium. And actually, most of the time, I think my first bullet, to be honest with you, I'll tell you, my first 223 many a year ago, I went right to the max, seated it to the length of the book, and shot it. I mean, that's with no experience, no nothing. I just looked at it. I knew it would be okay. If the book said it, the measurement was right, I would be okay. I wasn't nervous about it, but I did. I says, oh boy, this is going to be something else. And bam, boy, it cycled perfect. Shot a few more after that too. And these books are conservative too. If you look at some of these books years ago, especially like Lyman, you'll see the charges are a lot higher. Why? Lawyers. Lawyers, what can we say? What can you say about them? But anyway, this commercial ammo is very thing. Anyway, let's set this die up and quit. Let's go on. Andy's joined us. Info Bros, good to see you. Viejo. Oh, Critter's here. Good to see you, Critter. I was going to contact you, send you a PM tonight, and I messed around and got busy. Jason's with us. Art and Adventure with Tasha. Brutal Bob. Make sure I ain't missed anybody. Bear with me. Uncle Caffeine. Michael Hurtnick. Viejo. CNT Designs. I hadn't seen a lot of people's streams lately, though. I went through what I call a tequila a couple of weeks where I had vertigo bad. I mean, bad. I literally, if I laid down on the floor or the bed and got up, just normal, man, it was like I got knocked down. So it was something else. But it's fairly there now, so I'm not having issues. I was talking about YouTube. Okay. AR guns, you're 100% on point. You can't mess around reloading. Yeah, and that's why we do, tell new people to go by the book, and we encourage you guys that start out reloading. Hey, call someone, call me, call my email address. Call us and we'll talk to you and give you some advice. And let you know. Bubba was doing had some 180 grain, which was basically a 357 load, But of course, 38's the same. I told him, I said, don't worry about it. Put it in the 38 special case and just work the load up carefully, and you'll be okay. Because there was no 180 grain in the book, Hornady. I actually looked. Now it's 180 in the 357, and those bullets really, cartridges are the same. They're just a lot longer, and the 357 is just a hot load. So, hang on a minute. Let me get down here. I need to order a camera instead of pellet grills, but I want to smoke some good meat and stuff. Get over and maybe do a cookout out here one day with a barbecue rock star. We'll do a live, a few of us. And do veggies and pull some pulled pork. I don't know what the first thing I'll cook on that thing. I'll tell you the truth, probably just simple chuck burgers is what I'll probably smoke on it. I'm probably going to smoke it probably about 30 minutes on low on the pellet grill. I got to pick it up tomorrow at 11 o'clock. They changed the models on these at Walmart. They went with the LCD entirely, and there's a few of the old models left that actually has the temperature, the real, what would you call it, the real analog where you can see the numbers. And I'm getting one of those instead of the one with LCD. I don't trust LCD entirely out in the sun, so I'll probably bring it in. Part of it is LCD, but the new one is total LCD, and I don't like that. Got Todd with us. Hillbilly up. Hey, good to see you guys. The host says pellet grills are great. I really like mine. I used to go to, I still do. I'm going Philadelphia College of Medicine. I was talking to an associate professor one day about grilling, getting a green egg. And he says, hey man, green egg's too much work. And he said, I don't have time. He said, me and my wife, we do the Krager. He said, that's the first time I heard of a pellet grill. He said, we do Krager, man. We just sit back, set the temperature. Well, my daughter bought one here a couple of years ago. I went out there and spent the night with her a few weekends and shot some guns. Got a little video of it. I should post it, maybe at least a short of it. And got my brother shooting. We're shooting a 35 Remington, a lever, and my other AR, gun, AR-15. And also, guys, I'm going to be working on some videos. I'm going to do the editing, which I hate, and I'm going to do put it on YouTube, and finish it out over there on Rumble side. So I'm going to be doing. I kind of want to do a Grendel first, but I've already got several barrels for the 223-556, so I'm kind of stuck. So I'll be building those. So I'm going to try to put out some content, sometimes. Now I come up with some goofy stuff too. Something from a long time ago that I discussed with someone. Do some funny stuff, kind of like Hillbilly Up does sometimes. Now I'm not going to put lipstick on like Hillbilly Up does now. Ain't no way I'm going to do that now. But do something crazy like regarding reloading, silly and funny. Hey, I like to laugh. That was one of the reasons. A year or two ago, I got with the Echo. Echo was easy to, he was always occasionally doing locker room talk, there for a while, but I would laugh. And I enjoy, like Hillbilly, I like to have fun when you stream. So it's not so serious all the time. And it just breaks things up, makes you feel better. Comedy does, or joking, cutting up. Good to see you, Hillbilly. Mike Hepler, hope I got that right. Good to see you. New Mexico Mike. Hey, man. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Pat in the bunker. I sent him an email tonight. Appreciate you dropping here, Pat. Who else? Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. All right. Here's some brass blown out. I'll tell you what it's blown out to. Hang on. Actually, it's right here. 0.08 of an inch blown out in somebody's AR. It's range brass. All right. We're going to set the die up on the Forester tonight. And I'm using Imperial case lube. Now, I will tell you why I'm using Imperial now instead of Unique. This is kind of a weird story. I can use Unique's more waxy, less greasy in my opinion. I use it all the time, but this is an odd thing. I can use Unique on the Redding die, full length, 223 die, 556 die. Actually, just 223. And on every press I got here, and I have no dimpled shoulders or dimples on my brass, I can put Unique on here and put this on the Forester, and I'm wondering if it's a tolerance problem with the Forester. And I thought maybe even the die might be out of alignment. Matter of fact, I might ship it back and tell them I want to make sure that everything's square, and right. But I can put the Unique on here, and I will buckle a shoulder in this die every single time. But only on this press. I can move the same die over to Redding T7, perfect. Move it over to the Big Boss 2, perfect. move it over, same die, move it over to the Dillon 650, perfect. No dings, little hydraulic dings. It's only on this Forester. And the only thing I could figure, knowing, I do know something about manufacturing, not just food manufacturing, but other areas of manufacturing I worked in, numerous over the years. This thing could be a little bit out of alignment. But anyway, enough of that. So I have to use on this, I have to use Imperial, which is good stuff. I already know I'm not going to sit here and crank this die down forever and waste you all's time. I'm going to go ahead and drop the thing down. And I know this thing probably goes around Sammy Min if I make it touch the plate. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it. Now, as you're a new reloader, you would not do this probably. You take it down slow. Let's say I'm going to turn it to just barely touches. Let's see what we get with it. Now, I'm doing this kind of by guess and feel, knowing what this die's done before on here. Let's see what it sizes to. Wipe your grease off or your lube. Now, I'm going to cheat. I have this too, guys, which is L.E. Wilson, great gauge. I can drop it in there. Now, I know just by feel, and also this, I have a little 6-inch ruler. I can run it across and it'll lightly grab it. This thing is probably 3/1000ths over, maybe a little more right now. Now, I'm guessing. Just hang with me, and I'll tell you why I'm talking about feel sometimes in reloading. But I can feel it. I could be wrong, because sometimes I am on that. But most times, let's see what it really is. I'm using a Redding gauge here. Oh, wow. No, it's bad. Oh, yeah, okay. It's still up there high. So bear with me. I got that one off. It's actually a lot more headspace. Let's turn it down a little bit more. All right, now we're touching the plate on the Forester coax. Now we're starting to get near where we'll get near Sammy Min. And this is basically, we're bumping the shoulder back and full sizing in one swoop. Don't get confused with bumping. A lot of people bump shoulders. That's because when you say bump a shoulder with a full length die, what it is, you're just more aware of, you're controlling your overall case length, which is like the Sammy spec, your chamber length. You're pulling the brass down a little at a time. That's what you basically mean. Now, you can have a shoulder die that does just the shoulder or the neck, excuse me, but you can still bump shoulders on a full length die. You're just more aware of how much bump back you got. Okay, we're at 6,000 now. 6,000 over Sammy Min. We were at 8. Now, where are we at here? We're almost touching the Forester thing, but not quite. So let's turn it. I'm going to turn it about 1/4 inch, which is probably a little faster to get there. Put it that way. I usually do like an 8, especially if I get near where I want it, the shoulder to be. Let's see where that is. I haven't used a Forester in a long time. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I bumped back 4,000 under Sammy Min. So see, the quarter. I should creep up on it. I even talked to Bubba about that. So we're going to back off a little bit, but you can still use this. Blow it out. It'll still blow out and still work in a rifle. But you don't want to do all your rounds that way because you're causing excessive brass expansion, which will wear out your brass faster. So what it is, I'm controlling shoulder bump here. And, let's see what this is. Get an idea. I know most of you do not have the Redding gauge. Back at 6. That's strange. Okay, that's a new one. That's what it is. Okay. What am I thinking? Here we go, guys. Take it down a little at a time. See what we're doing. Still at 6. I'm going to take it down to an 8 of a turn. What is it? Don't take much of turning a die. I mean, you can turn it, you think an 1/8 or a 1/4, especially a 1/4, and man, you'll just bump right below Sammy Min quick. it'll just sneak up on you. That's why I told even Bubba, take it really slow and easy when you get near where you want it. Like on bullet seating depth, I was actually talking about. Let's see where we're at now. Oh, okay. 2.5 thou over Sammy Min now. That's where the die is set. Is that okay? I can right now load everything I want for an AR-15 because it's got a big chamber. If I had a match chamber, I probably wouldn't want to, do 2.5 thousandths of an inch over Sammy Min. I probably want to do maybe 1 over 0, probably 0 Sammy Min. But typically AR-15s, unless you got a specialized barrel like Hasbro, he's got Wilson Combat, his Grendel, and Eagle Run's here. AR out there double fisting prep. Yeah, how you doing, Eagle Run? I hadn't been looking up at the thing. I've been sitting here looking at my things here. So I can turn this a little hair more, about 1/8 of a turn. Now let's size it down one more time. We'll just take it to Sammy Min. I have not set the lock ring or anything yet. It's still loose on the Forester. Let's see what it does. Almost dead zero, 1/2 thou above Sammy Min. Now let's see what it does in this gauge, because most newbies, you're going to buy a case gauge, and you should have one. I've got this one and a Dillon. I use the L.E. Wilson. I think they hold a little tighter tolerance. So let's drop that in there. It's actually, believe it or not, it's below the top line. Yep. So I'm at 1/2 thou over, and I'm a little bit above the lowest. It's got a groove in the center of it. It's got a low deck and a higher deck, a proud deck. And now on the lower one, you can barely feel it sticking up a little bit. So it's not even, I wouldn't say it's halfway there, but it's there. You kind of learn your gauge too when you're using these gauges. So, on the lower deck, I can barely feel the hump. So that tells you, if you remember that, how it feels. Would that apply to every piece of range brass? Probably not, because the end of the brass there, the head, could be thicker on some brass, because range brass is unpredictable. It could have been a hot load, and it could actually compress that, a little bit. But right there, now we're at Sammy Min. We could actually load this even in a tight match grade chamber, and it should fire in every rifle out there. Now, when I'm loading for AR-15, say my gun, and we all know this at reload, we a lot of times I stop at 2 or 3 thou over here. If I'm at 2 thousandths of an inch over or 3 thousandths, I just leave it alone. Some people do it 4, I think, but I'll have 2 or 3 thou over Sammy Min. I just leave it. I can actually not use this rating up here, and it is, I even forget what the gauge is called. It's been so long since I looked at it. But I have a specialized gauge that you set up here that Redding makes. Instant indicator. It's so long since I talked about that. But see right here, you can go right here, take your ruler, slide across. I can barely feel the scrape of that brass right there, guys. It just barely touches it. It is below the deck a little, barely. But I can barely feel it with a ruler. So that right there tells you, if I remember this, say, for example, I go, okay, I see where that lightly touches it. I could just sit here all night long and use this gauge and not even worry about nothing. And that's what you do when you start out reloading. Get you a case gauge. It's cheaper. I think $30 for it. This is L.E. Wilson. Dillon is good, I guess, but I just never used a Dillon. And so there we go. That's sized. I'm not going to pull the primer thing out. And I was going to take the whole load all the way through, but it ended up taking like an hour and a half show, or maybe 2 hours, and I didn't want to bore everybody to death on 223. Now, after we size 223, 556 range brass, then we do trim. You always trim after you size, at least I do. And that's because it expands. Your brass, as you size it, it kind of grows on you. And you think it would shrink, but you're bumping the shoulder back and working the brass, it makes the neck a little longer. I cut all my brass down to length. I'm like Highboy on that. I do, what was it? 1.1, I forget now, it's been so long. I'm trying to think what the shoulder is. Hang on, I'll tell you. I'll remember. 1.740. Yeah, that's it. So I cut mine. I just go after I size it. I cut them all the same, trim them down. and I'm done. I can shoot it several times, not worry about it. Yeah, 1.760. I trim mine down. A lot of guys won't. They'll trim theirs at 1.750, 1.755. Hey, if you got a bunch of brass that does that, go ahead and do it. It's just up to individual. You can do it 30 thousandths. I don't go below 1.740 though. I stop at that point, even though technically you go another 10,000 according to Sammy. But I don't. I keep it at that. And I do that a lot, and I have no issues. And I hear guys, on YouTube, they'll say, well, I got some brass here. I'll give it away, or I'll sell it to somebody. But I don't want it. I'll give it away. It's at 1.740 or 1.742. Well, that's good brass. I told one guy one time, I think it was on a forum, I'll take that brass, But because of the book, everybody thinks that, hey, this brass is no good. But it's still good at 1.740. I reload it all the time and I shoot it. So don't let that fool you. You still got good brass. But anyway, all I would do technically now is take my Allen wrench, and I forget which one it is because it's been so long, and I would lock the ring down here. I got it right the first time. There we go. Good thing about this, that's how fast I can take the die out. It's got an aluminum ring. I don't use steel on the throat of this Forester. I don't. Some people do. I don't think it's good putting steel against steel because of wear. I use the aluminum Forester. And good thing about this, you want a size, bam, you're ready. Like, let's see, I had a die here. Let me see. Like if I wanted to pull this die out and say I wanted to decap. I decap on this thing too also, guys. Say I want to decap. I can unthread this. Well, I had to get a hold of this crazy dang Lee rubber lock ring. It's the old Lee, which I do like better. It's got the nut. So let's screw it out. I can throw this in and sit here and decap 2, 2, 3 pretty fast. I mean, believe it or not, bam, bam. And it's all you do is take your finger, you can put a container next to you or on your lap, and you can just bam, 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 and just knock that brass out quick. I can decap on this faster than any press I've got, outside of a progressive press, of course. Progressive, we can just run hundreds through it and decap. But decap is taking your primer out. And I decap all 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6 brass. So there you go. This is also a Mighty Armory. One of the early decappers. I think I gave like $29 for this on sale back in the day. I do need another pin. This pin is gun barrel steel, this shaft that runs through this. So this is one heck of a decapper. Now, you won't get this like this anymore. They're a little different, but they're still good. I'll show you the insert. I'm going to touch on Mighty Armory a little more. Matter of fact, there's that big head, looks like a nail. This tip unscrews right here. You can put different size tips on it. And all you do is take it, drop it down in there. And they're similar. They're just a little bit different style now on Mighty Armory. Screw the head down. And you've got something there that'll do doggone crimp brass all day long. And if you do it right, you'll never break that shaft. I did buy a Lyman decapper years ago, and I don't know where it is now because when I bought the Mighty Armory, I quit totally using it. This thing just works. And like I say, if I decap, I just throw it in there and bam, and start decapping. So anyway, that's why I like the Forester. It's a quick change. Excuse me, guys. But good to see you guys. I appreciate you all being here. It was good to get in here early, too. I got to see Andy. It's been a while since he's been in the shows. I start at 9 typically. Let's see. Let me highlight a few of you guys here. Bear with me. Cut this thing off. Anyway, that's the Forester. You see how fast I set it up, and it kind of gets you an idea of how I use this space. I just verified it basically with the instant indicator. I do. Now they're so high. I think when I bought my instant indicator, it was $159 or $149. That's a long time. Probably, I don't even remember how many years back it was. But you just can't beat the Forester. It does. The military here in Georgia, I think Perry, Georgia, the marksmen, they reload on a Forester coax press for precision, or range ammo. I don't know. I guess they use precision military rifles. But I have read they do reload on it. And I just don't hardly use it. I use it decapping, and I'll do 308 on it. I typically don't do 223-556, but you can, you know. But I typically don't like single stage, but I do like the Forester. I think it's just an unusual design, and it just works. Elster's Rifles and Reloading, he uses one. And but anyway, I hope you understand what I call bump back or shoulder bump. That confuses people. It's just basically being aware of what your shoulder bump back is, which is getting it near Sammy Min or above Sammy Min. I know some of you don't know what Sammy Min is, but Sammy Min is a specification that all manufacturers can use to make their ammo work in every rifle made and manufactured. Actually, I got found out. I got Faxon's little barrel paper here. Apparently, I dropped it out of my bag the other day. I got to get that. It's actually in a Foot Locker. Make sure I get that put back with a barrel. Anyway, let me go over here and highlight you guys. And I don't know if it's helped anybody new. Give you a kind of an idea what, reloading 223. I'd say if anything, 223 to me is easy. It's just a hassle with swaging the primer pockets. I do it with a drill and a reamer pretty fast, and it's okay. I don't mind it. I don't use the other what you call swaging machines. I take the crimp completely out, like a 45-degree angle. Now I tried the RCBS that Walter uses, and quite a few people use it. I bought it on Amazon, and it would not even trim my brass. Would not even swage my primer pocket, so I had to send it back to Amazon. Here's what let's see. Well, mine's actually, it's a neural. It's a little neural device. It don't cost like $8. I put it in a drill, and on high speed, boy, I can just bam and just drill out that primer pocket in a second and get that swage out. And you only do that on NATO brass, of course. But anyway, I'm not going to cover a whole lot. That's about it. Keep it kind of simple. And I'm going to try. God, I need to buy that. I need to buy that camera Mac Man's got. I love that camera. He actually texted me the other night and says, how did it look? All that. I said, oh man, your camera always looks good. It's got a good sensor in it that it just absolutely works. You can put a few LED panels in, and you got just absolutely perfect contrast and everything. And he says, time for bed. Yeah, I used to go to bed about 9. When I used to work, I used to go to bed sometime at 8:30, especially on first shift. Have a good one, Andy. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Got Hasbro up here. Let me highlight. He's got that. Yeah, Hasbro, I want to build me a Grendel. I want a Grendel bad, man, to go deer hunting with. I'd love to hog hunt here in Georgia with it. But typically here, I'd have to go to South Georgia and do some hog hunting. I don't know if we do have some. We got some in my neighborhood here. Got some little piglets running around here. I ain't talking about wild hogs here. I seen them last year before last. And I said, oh boy, we got a lot of back here. It could be like, I don't know how many acres. It's humongous. I've got a farm behind me here, even though I'm in a neighborhood. So I'm being attacked by armadillos. Actually, aren't 2 armadillos I caught, but how I knew I caught them, I didn't see them. They actually went into a cage that says it's for armadillos, and they bent the doggone door rods like a mouse trap. They actually escaped, backed up, and rammed the door and bent the thing almost like that right there, a 90 degree. Amazing. I had to straighten it out with my hands. So if I'm going to catch armadillos, I got to have a strong cage, which they do have them. I think Optics Planet's got some. It's really strong. But I've had 2 escape, and they're still attacking my property and my foundation. I don't mind the property quite as bad, even though it looks like a mud hole out here. But when they start attacking your foundation, that's when I say nope. And the other option is, of course, is ping them with a 22 occasionally, which I've got up at 4 in the morning, nothing inside. One night I walked out and I did see one run, but I didn't have the 22 with me. Let me see what Hasbro's got going on here. I keep talking about it. Yeah, Barrett. Hope you're doing good, Hillbilly. When I was young, it wasn't in bed. Yeah, my mother used to make me go home at dark. If I was out anywhere in the neighborhood playing, nighttime come, I had to come in. I thought it was too strict, but that's what I did. She was the boss. Then I got older, I became the boss. But got Bubba with us, had him in here earlier. Appreciate you dropping here, Bubba. Good to see you, Hillbilly. Check Hillbilly Up show out Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Does a panel, which I'm on most of the time. I have skipped a few. And I feel weird when I don't show up because I enjoy the show. Oh, we got Missouri Outlaw Randy with us. Thank you for coming in, man. He's got to check his channel out, guys. He does on the road while he's trucking, man. Got a cam in his tractor trailer, which I find kind of cool. And people jump in his side chat and help him out, and he drives. My brother was a truck driver. Some of you know the story. He fell out of his trailer about 3 years ago, injured his shoulder, wound up with a huge settlement, and retired, paid his house off, paid his truck off, everything off, workman's comp. And now his shoulder, I think, is 80, 90% okay, so he's still fine. CNT's touching on the cages, dip yellows, dillos. Yeah, you ain't kidding, CNT. Find that double. Yeah, there's one I can get with a bigger steel, and it has little circles, and it drops down on the door, and they can't bend it. It's thick. Yeah, funnels. I've been using 4x4s, and it funnels them right in it. Believe it or not, they say they're half blind. But let me scroll up. We got Eagle Run with us. Check his channel out. He does interviews with companies and stuff. He's got good content and builds ARs. And I'm going to be building some, doing some editing, which I kind of hate, but I don't like it, but I'm going to do it. And I got to get that at least a DSLR camera here soon. I've got quite a few cards, micro SD cards, so I really don't need those. 128 gig, got a few of those. And I'd like to eventually, too, get the new GoPro 11, too, on top of it. Kind of do some range stuff. Our range now here in Georgia has steel, so I want to get in there and do that sometime. Corner Clubhouse Cobalt joined us. Good to see you, Mark. I think I got that name right. I hadn't seen your chats lately coming up. I look occasionally in the queue on my phone and click on the thing, the notification bell, and scroll down and check you guys out occasionally. But past few weeks I had that vertigo issue, and I hadn't been going through channels much. I think I did a few comments on a few videos here. See what Jason says. Don't need to waste ammo hunting around here. Truck bumper works well and is always in season. Yep. There's a lot of them ran over here. My daughter almost got killed a few years ago. Deer antlers came into the window. Big Al's with us. Good to see you, Big Al. I keep losing electricity as large storm goes by. They say 90 miles per hour. Yeah, I had trees here fall down a few weeks ago. It did $1,500 and something worth of damage to my house, property. I didn't mention this. I found out about 2 weeks ago that it tore up my $500 dishwasher. Lady next door knew the trees were falling, Leland cypress. I wished I took a picture, before, because then I probably could go to court. Well, anyway, the tree fell and it flooded 200 something boats through my entire house. TVs were okay. It destroyed 3 surge protectors. And matter of fact, I sent one off the other day, Belkin. They're going to send me a brand new one, a lifetime warranty, so I don't have to buy one. But I bought a new Belkin surge protector. But it knocked my dishwasher out. One $500 bed pump, air bed pump, totally gone. It's unreal. I mean, to me, $1,500-$1,600 is a lot. So I got a dishwasher in there, and now it's no good. It's just there for looks because it just destroyed it because it's not hooked up to a surge. And surprisingly, my TV survived only because of a surge. I had a surge now. What's weird, I had a surge on the old bed pump, but it failed and destroyed the product. Now, is it lifetime warranty? Oh, yeah, Belkin will tell you, but guess what? You got to file it on your homeowners first before they'll pay you a check. Well, my homeowner's deductible is so high, there's no point in it. I think I'm at $2,500 deductible, so I can't, I can't call and say, hey, I need $500 check for my pump. Got GGW with us. Appreciate you dropping in here. What time is it, guys? 9:09. We've been running about an hour. That's about it. Well, I'm going to wind the show down here shortly. Let me see what Eagle's got going on here. Have a great roster. Good to see you, Eagle. Yeah, I ordered me a Big Boss pellet grill for the new guys, people coming in, so you'll know what I was doing, what I'm doing. And I'm getting the old model because I only got a few left. And matter of fact, it accidentally charged my debit card today, and I had to cancel the order and put it on a firm payment, $24 a month or 18 months, I think it is. But anyway, that's enough on the hardware side. Let me switch this stuff up over here. Bear with me a minute. We're going to move and talk to you guys and get this lighting and all this and cameras changed. Lights out. Got any questions, let me know. Email me, ARguns1776. I should put it below here, but I didn't. AR, same thing as my channel, at gmail.com. Hold on a minute. I kept losing this cam earlier. There we go. Back to the old Logitech. You can see kind of how white and washed out it is. You don't get that with a good Sony or Canon camera. It's just good picture. I wished I could, if I could get, I did get 18 months financing on Amazon for a D90 a while back, and I backed out because I didn't want to go in debt again on credit card. Credit card debt. It's just, this is not the time in this country going in that debt. Hey, Mac Man, he's joining us. Good to see you, Mac. Appreciate you guys on. We had quite a few there for a little while. What Grendel barrel do you want? I'm thinking about, because I am going to deer hunt, I'm thinking about the 18-inch. I know 20 would be better, but I want it as light as possible. I know Hasbro has a 22-inch Hasbro, if I'm not mistaken, Wilson Combat. I have looked at the specs on. I forget what the weight was, but I want it as lightweight as possible because I'm basically going to use it as a hunting gun. Will I target shoot a little bit? Yeah, but mostly for hunting. I can take it deer hunting. I don't like taking a 223 deer hunting, but I will if I have to, of course. But I'd prefer to have at least a Grendel. How's it going? Mike Hepler's joined us earlier. Appreciate you dropping in, man. Had a pretty good crowd on here. Oh, I missed the old time slot. Usually, right now, I'd start a few minutes ago. I don't like starting at 9 because if I talk too much, I'm in the show at 1 hour and a half to 2 hours. See who is texting me? Hasbro, check the chat. Eagles offering you a faction. Oh, yeah, Eagle. You got my number, man. We'll talk. Okay, Hasbro reminded me. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to build a Grendel. Good Lord. I already got the upper arrow. I got an arrow. I got several arrow precision uppers. I've got the lowers, of course, arrow precision lowers. I've got Rainier Arms lower. I've got a Faxon 223 barrel, SOCOM barrel, which you're probably aware of, Eagle. But yeah, I'd love to do the Grendel, man. God. Hasbro said he'd get an 18 or 20 if he did it again. Yeah, I want it as light. I mean, I don't want it, 16. I don't know if I even got them at 16, but I want it light enough where I can walk and carry it. But target shooting, I'd probably do a 22, and get a heavier barrel. Arrow Precision's got a barrel that's fluted. I think it's like only $150. I think it's a Grendel barrel. Could be wrong. No, they got a 223 that way, a Wild 223. It's stainless steel and fluted. But there's Grendel's barrels like that too. I do love that. I like Faxon barrels like Eagle's doing. I know he's a sponsor, guys, on that stuff. They're one of their partners with it. But I got a Faxon barrel, like I said, the SOCOM. It's pretty good quality. I'm actually ordering headspace gauges, Eagle. Do you use them, Eagle? I've never asked you that question, even when you've been on the show. I am going to do a 16. I already have a 20. I'll get you a Faxon my next. Wow. Appreciate your help, Eagle. Yeah. I mean, depending on the weight, I could do an 18 or 20. I don't know what the weight, how it would be, the balance on it to carry. I've probably not, depending on the barrel, probably not that much. I know Hasbro, I think he's got the Wilson 22, and he said it wasn't too heavy. But you want an AR. I was looking the other day. Went to a gun store, me and my brother. The Daniel Defense 16-inch barrel here made in Georgia is supposedly listed at 6.4 ounces or 6.2 ounces. That's pretty good for an AR. And they use a hammer forged 16-inch barrel, government profiles or whatever SOCOM type barrel. C&T says I have a couple of 80 lowers. I never did I got into that. Eagle does. I never got into the non-serial number the 80% things. I didn't want to, have to buy all the jigs and things. I thought it's cool though. We've had the right to build guns like this before the country was founded. We've been able to build guns, and all of a sudden now, here we go, politics. The government wants to try to control it and serialize it and do a background check on it when we have every right to build that gun. It's not their business, but that's just the way things go. Yeah, I've heard of the gunner. Yeah. Hang on, Eagle. I'm familiar with that. Yeah, now that would be a lighter one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's in Grendel though, is it? But any Grendel barrel that's halfway light be great for on the AR platform. Because like I say, I'm not going to really use it as a target. Well, I do some target. Yeah. I'd like to get out there and do some video of it and give me some of those, what is it? VMAX. I think they make a Grendel VMAX bullet. I'd like to do it with that. Eagle says 1.68. Yeah, I figured you did, Eagle. Yeah, I have headspace gauges for Grendel. I'm getting some for the 223. I'm getting the Colt NATO Go gauge. I don't need the commercial 1.4636 223 because I'm not going to work with that commercial barrel. So I'm going to buy the Colt and I'm going to buy the 4646, excuse me. That's the Colt spec. You go buy NATO barrel. And I'm going to buy one field gauge. That's about $60-something, just to make sure the bore is not big. And if it passes that, that's all I need. And apparently I'm going to have to get a Grendel now. So but I definitely knew I was going to have to eventually get a Grendel. I wished I could make that first gun a Grendel. And I'll do the videos, try to halfway do the editing, and get it posted and move most of it over to Rumble here. Because I do have a Rumble channel. Even the stream is going to Rumble. I get sometimes like 7 views, 5. I don't really develop that channel at all. And the dies, I got to think about the Grendel dies too. I just got some dies and I think they're Redding. I forget. Got slotted case. Yeah, from Sher. Yeah, those gauges, they're nice gauges, man. I remember them a few years ago. I was looking at them. I bought their primer pocket swage gauge. And they also have a bullet seating depth gauge at that, what is it? I forget the name of the company now. It's been so long since I've been on there. But appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to wind this down. Check out everybody's channel, MacMan Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hillbilly up at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's the way you don't get confused. I'll just use it Eastern Standard Time, the only time zone that matters. Chris 740, I think he does 9 o'clock Wednesday nights. You all know Georgia when they stream at 8 o'clock Friday nights. So check all these guys out. I don't know, Nick, I don't remember when you stream. I think I don't think you do a weekly every week like that. Heck, I'm not even doing it anymore either, really. I've been missing so many of them. Let me see what Hillbilly Up says. I would have so many more guns if it wasn't for the lowers. I strongly believe that we should be able to make our own. Yeah, and we've been able to. But all of a sudden they become, with the name Ghost put on it. Ghost guns are made without without background checks. And all of a sudden they start freaking out, a bunch of libtards, which is just makes me fume. But Czech Pacific Machine, I've heard of them. I was going to get a Forester because it's Brownells has got Clymore and Forester. And if I do that's weird. If I do the 223 set by Clymore, I will get a commercial spec 1.4636, and it'll say the no-go, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It'll say 1.4646. Well, that's for a commercial gauge. Well, I use the 1.4646 for all of our barrels that we build with. Most of y'all know, some of y'all know that. So it's weird how they do that and label it. Dale Pogue, we have bad weather. Yeah, it's been cloudy here all day. Thought it was going to rain. And the other day, me and my brother went gun shopping. I thought it was going to rain. I mentioned my dog don't like the rain. My dog hates when it rains, he starts barking, ready to come in the house. Little old mixed lab. Yeah, I'm going to get dyes. I've been thinking about maybe doing on dyes. I'm not going down the rabbit hole with Redding anymore. I'm going to do probably Hornady get the micro extra. And not only that, Hornady gives you all those little inserts for VLD that you can buy extra. So I'm probably going to go with Hornady on the Grendel. At least it's kind of affordable. You start getting in these Redding dyes now, the way they cost you a ton of money. But they're great dyes. So, Hobo, what's he saying here about this? We make a firearm in Canada without a lick. We go to prison up to 10 years. Woo. Yeah, see, we've always been able to do it in this country. We're a free country. Now we got micromanagers, nanny state out there wanting to control us. Hey, James Pollard, good to see you, man. Let me run up the chat here and make sure I didn't overlook any of you all. I've called you out for the most part. Eagle Run, C&T Designs joined us. MSB 9021, Eagle Run was with us. I'm going reverse. I'm not used to that. Let me take it to the top. Eagle Run joined us here on this. The chat does roll off, so I don't call you. You probably come in earlier and took off. Eagle Run's with us. GGW Outdoors, Andy 79Z28. He had to go to bed. Hasbro joined us. C&T Designs. MacMan Reloading jumped in there. Good to see you, Mac. Dale Pogue. I definitely got to get that camera, Mac. You know that. I may get a little shotgun mic. A Mini Road is with us. GGW Viejo is with us. Hobbies Hobo. Mike Hepler. Info Bros is with us. Good to see you guys, each and every one of you. Hillbilly Up. C&T Designs. I called. Good to see you. Who else? Viejo. James Pollard. Dale Pogue. Todd was with us. Somebody else was with us earlier. I can't remember. I can't remember the name now. From Homesteading. Say they done rolled off now, probably. And Jeff MOA. I hadn't seen him in a while. Good to see you, Jeff. I used to watch him occasionally on the High Boys lives on a panel. High Boy don't have too many panels, though, typically. But at one time, Walter was over a lot back years ago. Oh, man, I'm just glad you come here. Dropped in, man. I know we all have a life, and we get busy. Sometimes even during the day, I'll go in the live stream, say hello, and I'll stay there sometimes 15, 20 minutes. And sometimes I'll say bye. Sometimes I'll just close it out and go about my business, do my stuff. Oh, Todd's with us. I can't remember the Homestead. He subbed to me tonight, and I subbed him to another. I'm trying to think whose channel was that on. Can't remember now. I did check out today. I am Betty J Gathers a little bit this morning. I was on there and said hello. Woman Outdoors, she's dropped in occasionally. She shouted me out. Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, she's a homesteading. She shouts me out sometimes, so you check her channel, Hillbilly Ranch. Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, excuse me. She's a nice lady. She does canning, cooking, all kinds of stuff, homesteading stuff. And she talks occasionally politics, gets into it about the country and things. So check these channels out, everyone. Let me go up here and make sure I didn't miss no one. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this already an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys coming in. Great seeing you. And boy, do I miss my time slot. I get out of here, go in there and watch TV now. Don't have to stream, get up, go 9 o'clock. Like I say, if you get carried away in a stream at 9, I don't get out of here till 10:30 or 11. And I always like this slot a lot. But we had a good crowd in here, and I appreciate you being here. And if I miss you shouting out, I'll shout you out another time. I just kind of off the top of my head, do it. Let me see what the comment says. Oh, Georgia Trapping and Fishing. He was in here. Appreciate it, Craig. Thank you for coming in, man. He's got a Sunday show at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I watch, Rick's Life as I See It. I check I'm in the side chat. I might go on the show. They talk a lot of politics. I can talk politics. I just don't really typically want to on a platform. It is a touchy subject. Everybody's passionate about what they believe. But appreciate you coming here, Jeff MOA. Todd, every one of you, Dale Pogue. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a night. And I got the pellet grill coming. And who knows, I may spring a $1,000 Sony camera on us in a few weeks. It just depends on my budget, how things go. If anything, probably next month before I get it. I've already got approved for, I can do it. I got a check. I can do it. No credit, no interest for a year. So I can go to the bank, write a check. 3 days later, go take the debit card, go online and order the Sony camera, and for 12 months I could pay it off, which would be what, $100 a month almost. So appreciate each and every one of you being here. Great seeing you all. And remember, freedom is fragile. It's not passed down in the bloodstream. It has to be taught. Taught to who? The young people. That's what's going on in the country right now. I'm going to say this every time. That's going to be my sign-off thing. Freedom. That's a Reagan quote. Freedom is fragile. It's not passed down in the bloodstream. It has to be taught. And we're only one generation away of losing our freedom too, he says. I was big. Reagan got me into voting and all that. So anyway, enough of that. But freedom is fragile. And I think we're seeing it right now. Guys, have a good one. Good night. God bless. Appreciate each and every one of you. Good seeing you guys. Y'all take care. And hopefully I'll do a show next Thursday. Keep it up. I'm not sure the time. If High Boy does one, I'll have to change it to 9 o'clock again. So if I can do 8, I'll do 8:05 again. Have a good one, everyone. God bless.